Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Stocks surge again as vaccine hopes and positive language around US-China lift the boats. Analysis http ntvforex.com News ID C09AF7825 2028 12:33 AM. You just can't keep AM down. Stocks surged again as vaccine hopes and positive language around US-China trade lifted the boats. The S&P 500 closed at a new record high at 3,431, led by energy and financials, two of the most beaten-up sectors, with technology and healthcare were at the bottom. European stocks caught a strong bid with the major bourses rallying around 2% on Monday. Asian markets followed the lead overnight, with Tokyo up more than 1% and although Shanghai and Hong Kong were a tad weaker. Today, the narrative is much the same as yesterday. European stocks continued to advance with gains of around 1% as risk sentiment remained robust after official figures showed Germany's economy shrank less than previously thought in the second quarter. The numbers are still terrible. Output declined by a 9.7%, but this was an improvement on the 10.1% drop in the original release. Germany's IFO business survey showed sentiment is on the rise too. The euro caught some bid after these two releases to advance above 1.1830 and test trend resistance, having come under a bit of pressure yesterday evening again as the near-term downtrend remains the dominant force. Yesterday's high at 1.1850 is the bulls' target, and this needs to be cleared to suggest the bears have lost control. The DAX rose above 13,200 to take it near the post-trough high at 13,313 hit on July 21. The FTSE 100 advanced towards 6,200 with beaten-up travel and leisure stocks among the leaders. Both paired gains after the first hour of trading, however. U.S. futures point to further gains on Wall Street. Apple shares rose over $500 as investors continued to pile in, and analysts noted that its forward earnings multiples are not that rich after all, and certainly not as expensive as rivals. Apple has transformed itself from a pure hardware manufacturer to a full-service-led tech platform, and therefore the stock has re-rated. Top U.S. and Chinese officials discussed the Phase 1 trade agreement after a meeting scheduled for earlier this month was postponed. Both sides are seeing progress in areas like the increase in purchases of U.S. products by China. The two sides also discussed how China will ensure greater protection for intellectual property rights, remove impediments to American companies in the areas of financial services and agriculture, and eliminate forced technology transfer, the U.S. Trade Representative said in a statement. This came after the U.S. and EU agreed to reduce tariffs on some goods. Meanwhile, vaccine news is still helping rather than hindering risk sentiment. AstraZeneca said today it has begun the Phase 1 clinical trial of its monoclonal antibody combination for the prevention and treatment of COVID-19. However, Hong Kong has reported its first confirmed coronavirus reinfection, with a man found to have been infected months apart by different strains of the virus. Economists remain concerned about the double dip. According to the National Association for Business Economics, there is a 1 in 4 chance the U.S. economy could fall into a double dip recession. 2/3 of economists surveyed think the world's largest economy remains in recession. President Trump got the Republican convention off to a belligerent start as he warned of a rigged election as he sought to cast doubt over the voting process ahead of the election. I don't think the market really needs to worry about there not being a smooth handover of power, but I would think that a close result could see Trump launch multiple legal challenges which would create the kind of uncertainty markets don't like. Elsewhere, gold continues within the near-term downtrend but is yet to make a new low since the $1,911 trough last week and is catching support from the longer-term rising trend line. U.S. real rates 10-year tips slipped further into negative territory again. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.